Hello and welcome to this little tips and tricks for substance painter tutorial. In this one I'm going to go over anchor points, and I know I've covered them in some of my longer tutorials, but not everybody watches them, so I thought I'd do a quick tip to show this off because I think it's really powerful. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the preview sphere, and if you don't know where that is, it's File, Open Samples, get rid of that, and then pick the preview sphere. And it's just one of their default kind of previews for, you know, what you can do. And of course you can use this sphere to then, you know, construct materials and smart materials to, you know, for your own purposes. I'm just going to delete all that because I want to start off with this. And what we're going to do is just create a couple of layers and mix them together. So let's create a fill layer. And I'm going to, with that selected, I'm just going to create or select the brass, for example. And then over the top of that, I'll create another fill layer with a black mask. And this one, I'm going to use a generator. And we use the metal edgeware. So I'll click in there and select metal edgeware. There we go. So that wears away that edge, of course, and I can increase my wear and do all sorts of things with that to make it as I want it. You might notice some kind of repeating going on down here. This is kind of an aside, and that's down to the grunge scale. If you scale the grunge too much, you get a repeating pattern. So sometimes I'll just knock that down to get rid of that repeatiness. Okay, so let's just update this and give it some sort of material property. I'm just going to go for plastic, and I'm going to change the colour out for a green, like the verdigris kind of blue green that you get on brassware. Although that's, I seem not to be very successful at finding that. Okay, there we go, just need to go darker. There we go, somewhere along those lines. Okay, so anchor points. I'm going to add a paint layer to this, and to this paint layer I'm going to, or on this paintbrush, I'm going to select a hard surface. So if I go into the textures area and filter for hard, we should get up all these normal brushes. So all these brushes you can put into your normal channel and paint with, so that you get, yeah, a nice normal detail. So all I need to do is go down, and actually I'm going to turn off everything except normal, and then unfortunately I can't just double click this, I have to drag and drop it into my slot down here. Sorry about that, lots of ums. Okay, that's an annoying shader. So then I'm going to just scale it up for demonstration purposes and click a couple of times to put that in, and that's all very well and good, except it's not got any of my nice edgeware on it. And if I had that lovely edgeware on it, then I would be a much happier man. And that's where anchor points come in. So I'm just going to drag this below here, because we need the anchor point to be below the effects layer that is putting your edgeware on. And I'm going to right click on it and add an anchor point, and then we'll just put this as normal layer. There we go. And then up here I need to integrate that into our effect layer, and we can do that within the generator. Now not all the generators have it, so I mean you'll try a few and you'll get the hang of which do and which don't, but at the very bottom of the list on the properties you'll find micro normal, and if you click there you can either use a resource, or in our case we want an anchor point. And I'm going to pick my normal layer, which I've managed to spell badly. When you pick that, it will ask you what channel do you want to reference, because it will reference any of the channels on there, but we only have normal. So I'm going to go and select my normal channel, and nothing happens, and that's fine because we need to now activate the micro detail. It's a bit convoluted, but you get used to it after a while. So micro normal I'm going to enable, and you'll see that that immediately then integrates my normal into that filter, into that generator, It's included that height data and enables me to blend everything in. So now, you know, I've got something that looks a bit more realistic. It's not just stamped on over the top of something, it's stamped on and it's got some of the you know, the dirt data on it. We do have some control over this. Underneath you've got curvature type and intensity, we've got height details, AO and AO depth, and we can change those and it will change the way it behaves. Sobel I personally think is a good one. It seems to do a nice job all round. If I take the curvature intensity down, I'll get less on the curves, so I can obviously take that down and up depending upon how I want it. I can take the height density details up and down. Generally, I think it rather depends upon the stamp or the detail you've used. I find sometimes one of these sliders doesn't do anything, or doesn't seemingly do anything. So then we have the AO radius, sometimes one or more, and the AO depth. And I think because I'm just doing it on, you know, edges here, it's only really taking in the curvature data, so that's why those ones don't really work, whereas that one works a treat. Okay, so that's anchor points, and including, you know, painted height data into your overall model as if it was actually part of the model and modelled into it. So I hope you found that useful. I hope that was clear, and I hope to talk to you in another video another time.